So my dissertation research was about dignity, human dignity, and what does it mean to respect, protect, and fulfill a sense of human dignity, specifically for Black men and boys, but overall for Black people. And in my research, deep scholarly dive that we do when we writing our dissertations, you realize that most of the English literature on dignity is rooted in the Catholic Church, right? And the Catholic Church isn't that old when we think about the history of humanity, right? And I did some deeper digging, and the concept of humanity being significant all by itself in a much deeper, more nuanced way, because I feel like the Catholic Church also limited who was valid in that, but in a more holistic and globally recognizing way, came to there's East Asian concepts and there's African concepts. We could talk about where those two meets, but when thinking about African concepts, you go to the Bantu language, right? You get to one of the oldest languages in the world, the root of a lot of foundational knowledge systems in the world. And they said when white folks came over, the words that they used to explain who they are was people without Ubuntu.
Eh,
Like that was the translation of the word that they called them. And so right then and there, I said, well, if I'm going to have a whole concept built around addressing anti-Blackness and data violence and rooted in I am because we are, I'm going to root this in not English. I have to root it in something that predates this colonial tongue that I'm speaking. And so let me go to an African tongue because I am, use the term lost indigenous to the continent of Africa, like displaced from there. And so I'm going to connect to a language term that's from there. And that's where Ubuntu most resonated to me. The concept, of course, a lot of people, like you said, identify with it. I am because you
that's
are.
right.
But even beyond that, I am because we are has to look at for better or for
For
worse,
better or for worse.
right? So I think about us here who are descendants of the Ma'afa, the transatlantic slave trade, and other forms of colonization. That I am because we are is very important because I am Black American because of colonization. I am Black American because of the slave trade. I am Black American because of what was happening in West Africa in the early 15 and 1600s. I am that because y'all are that too. And so just thinking about creating a space where we're talking about data, information, learning, transformation, and change being rooted in I am because we are makes it a different type of conversation than you are because you are. And I am because I am, which is a very capitalist American way of thinking about things. So just thinking about the disruption of what I wanted to do needed to begin with just my tongue and what word was going to be formed when you spoke the name of the organization. And that's why Ubuntu was chosen. There was a master class that Oprah had with Dr. Maya Angelou, and she quote a poet who was enslaved and brought to Greece, right? And he became so eloquent with his words that his enslaver had to let him go because it was like, you too cold with the words.
Yeah, you too cold with it. Too cold with
It's even funnier to me because his name was Terrence. And I'm like, you can't get a blacker name in ancient
it.
Greek civilization other than Terrence, right?
Right.
One of his most famous lines in one of his plays is, I am a human being,
And
therefore nothing another human being does is foreign to me. In the masterclass, Maya Angelou goes in and talks about whether, you are abusive or a colonizer or loving, like all of this stuff isn't foreign to me. But I use that a lot in my work, especially when we're thinking about humanizing what's happening, because it's really easy to get into a us versus them dynamic, even in a progressive liberal space. And it's realizing that every single thing a human being is capable of, you're capable of too,
mhm.
because you too are a human being. And thinking about the actual so-called worst of humanity being something that's in us that just hadn't gotten activated, either because we were nurtured in such a way or because we learned to suppress in such a way, because both of those things are probably true to some extent. And just realizing, well, how does that play out in how we then see each other and how we can give and reinterpret one another in a new way, right? Because it brings a more challenging question to the table about our humanity, because it isn't there bad people and good people. It's we are all good and bad people, depending on
Mhm.
the day, time, circumstance, or lens, right? And so to me, I've used that a lot to connect the ideas of Ubuntu, not just our organization, but just that philosophy to what abolitionist leadership and abolitionist work means. Like, you can't say Ubuntu and not be an abolitionist.
Mhm.
These things have to go hand in
That's
hand,
right.
one in one with each other. And so letting people know, because people will be like, I'm all this, I'm pro-Black, but we need prisons.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
well, these things that can't coexist in that way. So let's have a deeper conversation about that. So yeah, just feeling through, the more I've connected myself to the philosophy, the more our team has read and studied the philosophy, the deeper our practice has been of like, where do we make decisions that are political about our lives, about how we raise our families, about how we relate to friends, about how we want to move in the world. And so it's not singular and isolated into the organization. It becomes a part of us.